Akatsuki Osawa, born on Earth, returns home after vanquishing the Demon King Gallius in the realm of Alizard, bringing along a girl named Miu. Gallius had entrusted his daughter, Miu, to Akatsuki as his dying wish. A hooded Akatsuki escapes from a group of maids dispatched by Risti and Valkyria, who aim to prevent the hero from going back to Earth. Akatsuki manages to incapacitate most of the maids by slipping off their undergarments and whispering in their ears. Deep within the forest, he encounters Valkyria and most of her maid crew again, before defeating them in combat. As morning arrives, Risti Elda Sherfeed, the Princess of Sherfeed, awaits Akatsuki's arrival and inquires about his confrontation with Valkyria, but he disregards her and walks past. He is aware that she commanded Valkyria and her battalion of maids to block his return to Earth. Suddenly, upon noticing Risti crying, he kisses her, prompting her to slap him. Furious, she shouts at him, instructing him never to return to Alizard or to her. She then strides away, ignoring his final words that he would come back to her. Upon his return to Earth, he goes to his home. He opens a bag to disclose the naked Miu that he brought from Alizard. Miu was oblivious to her situation, and he informs her that from this point on, she will be known as Miu Osawa, pretending to be his sister, and she should regard him as her brother. The next day, Miu gets dressed in school clothes since Akatsuki tells her they will be attending JPN Babel, a school for magic users from other worlds. Later, Miu is summoned for an examination and a blood test, which causes her anxiety that the results might indicate she is not from Earth and could lead to her expulsion, despite Akatsuki's reassurances. Eventually, Miu feels relieved when the results turn out fine, just as Akatsuki assured her, although she still struggles with calling him her brother. Meanwhile, a meeting is underway in Babel's student council when there is a stir concerning Akatsuki being the true hero, destined to become the supreme king in the future, given his potential danger. In another part of the school, one of the instructors guides Akatsuki and Miu on a tour and instructs them to evaluate their strength in the training room to qualify for Babel School, but only if they succeed. Miu opts for a sword as her weapon, whereas Akatsuki chooses no weapon, depending solely on his strength and skill. Miu is the first to be evaluated, and as the instructor approaches with an offensive move, she employs her water elemental magic to create a fake barrier to knock him down. When Akatsuki is set to start his test, someone else arrives to replace the instructor. It is Kyoya Hikami, the student council president of Babel School. Kyoya then challenges Akatsuki to test his strength by trying to break his ice pillar and smash it to pieces. Akatsuki accepts the challenge and strikes Kyoya's ice pillar. While he only creates a dent, his strike does not break it. Nevertheless, Kyoya allows Akatsuki to pass his test since he believes that they will eventually fight each other, and he officially greets him and Miu as new students at the school. After they return home, Kyoya realizes that his ice pillar has indeed been shattered to pieces. Later that evening, at Akatsuki's home, both Akatsuki and Miu partake in the feast he prepared to celebrate passing their entrance exams. A flashback then occurs, depicting when Gallius the Demon King entrusted Akatsuki with the responsibility of caring for Miu and protecting her with his life, regardless of the circumstances. Akatsuki is asleep, and Miu, who still recalls being entrusted with his care, experiences a great deal of pain and begins to cry. As Miu observes Akatsuki sleeping, she considers killing him with her dark flame, but she has second thoughts and ultimately chooses to protect him for the time being. Then, Akatsuki seizes her and begins to grope her, which makes her feel uneasy, leading her to hit him with his alarm clock. The following day, on their first day at Babel High School, Akatsuki and Miu are the focus of attention from other students, which Akatsuki perceives as natural since it is typical for students to stare at transfer students. He also mentions that it is normal for any transfer student to occupy any seat they prefer. After they enter Class B, Akatsuki and Miu encounter their new classmate, Chikage Izumi. Izumi is aware of Miu's remarkable magic used during her entrance exam and subsequently warns Akatsuki about occupying the seat belonging to a troublesome student. Just then, a guy bursts into the classroom. This is Kenya Onizuka, the troublesome student Izumi had cautioned about. Akatsuki retaliates by knocking Onizuka out of the class and nearly crushing his skull until Miu intervenes and Akatsuki spares him. The Fukian arrives to investigate the situation and reprimands Akatsuki, prompting him to accompany them to the student council room. Akatsuki observes a reserved seat for Kyoya and takes a seat there. Later, the three student council members arrive and are taken aback to find Akatsuki in Kyoya's seat. Kyoya soon appears, and Akatsuki leaps from the seat and prepares to attack him. He avoids the strikes from the three members defending Kyoya, But eventually, they manage to restrain him. Akatsuki initially believes Kyoya requested a grudge match against him, but it is revealed that Haruka is the one who called to inform him that the student council has marked him for classroom disturbances. As Akatsuki is about to return inside, a petite girl stands behind him, advising him not to enter. She introduces herself as Kuzuha Dumoto, the class representative of Class B. Kuzuha explains what the student council members are like, and as they reach the first floor, Haruka suddenly falls from above, landing gracefully using her wind elemental magic. Haruka notices that Akatsuki has taken her panties, compelling her to deploy her push knives in an attempt to destroy him, but he skillfully dodges and steals her bra, causing her to cover herself out of embarrassment, and ultimately leading to her defeat. Later, in the training room's closet, Akatsuki, Miu, and Kuzuha observe two girls kissing, one of whom is revealed to be Izumi, while Kuzuha disapproves of Izumi's actions, prompting the girl to flee in embarrassment. Unexpectedly, the door shuts, trapping Akatsuki and the girls inside. Kuzuha informs Akatsuki that once class concludes, another class representative will come to unlock the door, forcing them to wait. Subsequently, Kuzuha accuses Izumi, which leads to an argument between them. While waiting for assistance, Izumi playfully suggests to Kuzuha that she could use her earth magic to make a toilet, as Kuzuha feels the urge to urinate, but Izumi quickly apologizes for her teasing. Hearing Kuzuha's cries, Akatsuki thinks of a way to cheer her up, and Miu and Izumi offer to assist. He employs his Renkankei Kiko on their bladders, making them hold it together with Kuzuha to lessen their embarrassment, or possibly increase it. Akatsuki bites Kuzuha's ear. Kuzuha, Izumi, and Miu all urinate simultaneously. The girls then knock him out, and when Haruka opens the door, they all exit the closet, leaving him behind. While they shower, the girls come to the realization that Akatsuki is the one at fault from the beginning. Consequently, Kuzuha and Izumi reconcile their differences and become friends with Miu. Haruka questioning and reprimanding Akatsuki about his actions towards the girls while he grins.